Hi guys, so today I have another mukbang, um, sorta mukbang. I mean, I realized that a mukbang is more like eating like large portions or whatever, but it's fine. This is large portion, but like, like lots and lots. I don't know if I can finish this all, so maybe I'm not a real mukbanger. I'm not, but anyways, today I have some Burger King. I have this XL King. I guess it's like new or whatever to Burger King, and some chicken nuggets and some coffee because I'm a coffee addict. Probably not the healthiest, but whatevs. Please don't come with me. Plastic straws. Well, you do what you gotta do. Not that I don't care about the environment and turtles. I just love coffee in general. But anyways, I have kind of like a story time today. I'm gonna tell you, this is probably gonna be a series because it's kind of a long story, because it's like my whole pregnancy. I had a very complicated pregnancy. No one knows on this channel, I'm sure, but I had a baby. He's actually 4 months today, and he's like the cutest baby ever. Y'all probably get to see him, I'm sure, in the future. But yeah, so the first thing is how did I find out I was pregnant? Well, I didn't know I could get pregnant. I mean, I kind of knew it was a possibility, but I had a surgery when I was like 12 that like really messed up my ovaries. So they told me that it would be very extremely hard for me to get pregnant. Well, apparently it wasn't as hard as they thought, because I guess like 3 months after deciding, probably not gonna have a baby, I got pregnant. Didn't thinking I like honestly could. So so I found I was pregnant because I missed my period. Or it was the day before I was supposed to miss my period. And in my head, I'm like, hey, that's so weird. Like, I usually get my period the day before it says I'm supposed to, which doesn't make sense, but that's how it worked. So I tested, and there's like no lines on the test. I had like a Dollar Tree test. And then I looked again. I'm like, there's something a little faint there. Like, maybe I'm seeing things, I showed it to a couple other people that I live with, and they're like, it looks like a little line when you put it in the light. I'm like, ugh. It's probably nothing. It's probably like dye or something on it. And I was like, okay, scratch that. So I'm like, I'm waiting, and like 2 days later, no period. So I'm like, whatever, just it's coming. I took a test. It was negative, so I thought. Then my mom came over to take me and my boyfriend to lunch. And she took us to lunch, and I noticed I was feeling a little weird while eating. I was like feeling kind of sick. Well, the restaurant wasn't far from where we lived, so on the way back from the restaurant, I ended up vomiting walking home in like a random like trash bin that was on the side of the road. And that was I was like, my mom was like, I think you're pregnant. I'm like, I'm not pregnant. So you know what? I get another test, take it, and it's clearly positive. My boyfriend was like, you're pregnant. I was like, I didn't want to believe it because, I thought it was hard for me to get pregnant or whatever. So I went to the doctor the next morning. Instead of them being like, hey, it's negative, go home, get out of here, you're fine, They sent me in a room and was like, you're pregnant. And lo and behold, that's how I found out I was pregnant. So that's not really part. I just wanted to like explain how I got pregnant or whatever. But one of the things I really wanted to talk about was my miscarriage scare. It was really scary. So at this point, I was 8 weeks pregnant. It was a little, further along in my pregnancy. I was waiting to announce it. Only like few people knew, and that was like basically a little bit of my family, my mom, and like my cousins and aunt, whatever, and uncle and stuff like that. And then my boyfriend. No one else knew. No one. I was waiting until 12 weeks to tell people. So it was really scary. I was feeling like a lot of cramping, like a lot of pain. I kind of was like, maybe it's just normal or whatever. So I was playing Pokemon Go because that's what I love to do, or love to more in the past. I don't do it as much anymore, but whatever. So we were out and I started getting really nauseous, and then I got a pain, and it felt like I was peeing on myself. So I ran home, like ran the heck home. I get to the bathroom and I go to, like wipe or whatever. And there's blood and a huge blood clot. I'm sorry for the graphics. That big. And I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I scream. My boyfriend called 911. He's like, what do you need to call 911 for? And I'm like, just do it. And so he calls and he asks what's wrong. I'm like, I'm bleeding a lot. And I'm like terrified. I was like, so they got me. I was feeling lightheaded. Like I had, I guess, lost a lot of blood all at once, like really quickly or whatever. And so they get me into the ambulance, like into the back of the ambulance. The whole time I'm feeling lightheaded, like I'm gonna pass out, bleeding like crazy. And I'm just like, they're saying miscarriage. They're like, possible miscarriage. They're typing all this stuff, and I'm like freaking out, but like in silence because I'm so lightheaded and so sick. I can't even panic. So I remember just praying to God, like, the whole time, like, please don't let this be miscarriage. Please, please, please. So I get to the hospital, and everyone there also saying probably a miscarriage, most likely miscarriage. They checked me and they're like, hey, you're bleeding quite a bit or whatever. My boyfriend was supportive. He was holding my hand. He was like, it's gonna be okay no matter what. So they run tests and everything, and it actually turns out that I actually didn't have a miscarriage. They come in and, I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, hey, so the baby's heartbeat is strong and it's exactly where it should be. And I'm like, that's amazing that, he has a strong heartbeat at 8 weeks. And it was honestly the best news I have ever heard in my life. Because I really did think I was losing my child. At this point, I didn't know if it was a girl or boy, but I knew it was a baby. And it was my child. And in my head, I'm like, maybe this is my only chance to have a child of my own. And of course, I already loved him before I even knew if it was a boy, girl, who it was. And that was the best news. I ended up having something called a subchorionic hemorrhage. I guess the best way I can describe it is like a pool of blood or something. And they actually didn't know for sure what it was. They were like, it could be like a pool of blood, or it could have been like a vein that like kind of popped or something. But I ended up bleeding for almost 3 weeks after that. And I was put on bed rest just to keep my pregnancy healthy. And So I didn't lose him after all, and I was super freaking happy about that. Who wouldn't be? This burger's pretty good, but let's be real. Pretty much all of Burger King's burgers taste pretty much the same. Same with a lot of... I don't taste like real cheese. Still good though. Tastes like pretty much the same, the burgers. Especially like Wendy's, which is weird because I like love Wendy's burgers. It's like some of my favorite burgers are from Wendy's. Because I had to eat unhealthy today. So moving forward, there's so much to say about this pregnancy. It was definitely rocky. I ended up finding out I had an autoimmune disease literally right before I found out I was pregnant. Like a couple weeks before. So of course it was scary. I still don't know what autoimmune disease I have yet. It takes a while to find out. I just know whatever it is, it really sucks. I'm tired like all the time and you know, whatever. And my bones hurt a lot. No, I don't know if it's like my bones or muscles. And my skin is like really sensitive. Look, if y'all have something similar to this and y'all know what autoimmune disease y'all have, let me know. Look, I just know it's not lupus or arthritis. That's pretty much I know it's not all of. Currently, they want to check to see if it's possibly just dealing with my thyroid. And you better get away. There's like a little net and I'm like freaking out. Get away! Get away from my burger. My burger. Don't ask. Apparently talking nets. No one wants a net in their burger. I don't want to eat anymore. Anyways. But yeah, there's so many more parts I want to go through with this. It's a really good series I can make with my pregnancy. I mean, I can talk about how I almost lost him, how I almost went into labor at 29 weeks pregnant. I actually ended up having him at 33 weeks. So, I had him 7 weeks early. It's a lot. So, if anybody wants to hear more, let me know. If you don't, too bad, because I'm probably going to, you know, talk more about it anyways. I look so stupid right now, and I don't even care. Anyways, I'm probably going to wrap this up. And, save it or whatever. Wasting food's not good. I know this wasn't the best, most exciting mukbang ever, but at least it was something, right? Whatever. My baby's waking up and I got to get to him. And this food can wait for later. But anyways, peace. Bye. Sorry for my awkwardness.